Greetings. Welcome one and all to the city of Corvesa, the setting for this actual play of Curse of the Crimson Throne. All of us here at RollTales recommend that you at least be 18 years of age before joining us on this dark fantasy adventure path. Curse of the Crimson Throne contains mature content and discretion is advised. Now the time has come. Prepare yourselves. This is a tale of cause and effect. Let's play a game. Let's roll. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Curse of the Crimson Throne. Welcome back to RollTales. Mark Alexander here with the usual suspects. On tag out this week is once again Kieran, but he has the dentist, so it's all good. We're back once again to deal with some more Corvasian shenanigans. And well, it's honestly been a few weeks since we last sat down and played. I've mentioned this before and I'll mention this again. This is pretty much his RollTales' home game. Hence why we're happy to roll on when one of us is tagged out. But it's been a while, so for the bands, who remembers what we were doing?
Let's see. Last session we did a little cool down decompressions, training up. We were waiting on word for. I was dealing with the taxes at Eel's End to turn up.
Ah, yes, the Arcona family. Yes, it turns up. Yes, Davargo was getting, I suppose, sponsorship is a way to put it. And yep, it's the Arconas once again. They keep on cropping up. And Greg, this is falling into your wheelhouse. This subplot with the Arconas, yes. But never tussled with them before. This is new, even for you. So, what's is that an exciting prospect for you?
It's interesting. It really is. It sees a different side of the Arconas because you didn't really interact with them last time I played.
So yeah, it's once again this game is proving to be a little bit different. And now Topher, you're setting up a flower shop empire. Hello?
Kind of. Yeah. Hello?
Oh, yeah, we hear you. No worries. Oh, you just. Oh, I can hear myself in the background a little bit actually. Wow. So basically, you're getting a business going.
Kind of. Just kind of helping actually regenerate the flower shop that. Oh god, I can't remember his name there.
My
names
wife.
Names have completely escaped me at the moment.
Well, we do have this brand new handy party sheet now that has all of our names and statistics on it.
Feral, that's it. Feral's wife. Yeah, oh god, I couldn't remember I couldn't even remember my own name for a second. Then I was like,
I don't think Feral's wife. But it sounds bad, but sorry to cut in, but I don't think Feral's wife's name has actually been revealed yet.
No one's asked.
We've not. No one's ever mentioned it yet.
I have avenged my wife's death, and not one of you has asked what her name was. I'm going to the town.
You haven't even said it in character though, Alex. So don't worry. What?
Oh no, I've been waiting. Name was secret to me.
I don't think Ark would even mention it. I don't think it comes across to him going, your wife's name. So,
but in fairness, though, a lot has been, because the vengeance of Mrs. Thane was, because it was to deal with that opening plot with Gadrin, and ever since Gadrin went down, as per the book, the city just literally goes to hell. So it's been you've been busy. As a matter of fact, I think the last downtime session has actually been one of the few times the party is able to actually have some proper downtime and decompress. And now, even then, from last session, that decompression is quickly slipping away because now the city is getting all riled up because it seems like old Eardred was assassinated. You've all been busy. Let's put it that way. But who knows?
I don't even think I've actually mentioned my actual wife's name either.
You haven't. You haven't. You haven't. You haven't.
No.
Oh dear. Oh wow, that's really weird. That is actually really weird.
We've waited for a proper RP session for this.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
You had one last time.
that's true.
I was spending my time in a ship's basement, basically.
Yeah, no, it's that's the thing though. These plot points, which you would think would actually be quite significant, or it is significant on these two particular characters' lives, but I don't think it's been ignored either. If you know what I mean, I think it just hasn't had the opportunity for it to come up.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I think the only background character, sort of like familial ties, who's no longer in this current timeline with us. I think it's just been Ark's mother who's been mentioned. You know, her name came to the forefront, but that's been about it. Oh man, yeah, this is a crazy adventure. Actually, it's a lot crazier than what it looks because it's been so busy, and the truth is, it's only about to get busier. To the point where I will give a small teaser for today's session. Your downtime is about to get disrupted. So, shall we get on with the disruption?
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
All right, then. Let's start as ever with that old faithful recap and go a bit more into the details with it as we've refamiliarized ourselves after a couple of weeks of absence play. So, the last time on Curse of the Crimson Throne, our party of adventurers took some downtime finally after the sheer manicness that their lives have recently been. This chapter is called The Edge of Anarchy for a reason, and that is the city has been on this precipice since King Eardred's death. It hasn't quite fallen over into sheer total anarchy. There have been enforcement in the form of the Corvation Guard, the Sable Company, the Hell Knight Order of the Nail, and, you know, decent folk like our player characters. And I mean decent folk, not as in terms of, you know, alignments or morality, just people with common sense doing the right thing in such times that have pretty much kept the city together. But it is still on that knife edge. It's still very much on that precipice. And, well, once again, it's leaning and it's tipping over. What's causing it to lean this time is the fact that it has been revealed that King Eardred was actually murdered. And Queen Iliosa has decided to publicly announce this information in order to attempt to share trust with her people. You know, openness, transparency. She hopes trust will be gained with the people of Corvosa. Unfortunately, it's kind of having a reverse effect. Eardred had his issues, and he wasn't a good man, but his rule, for all intents and purposes, was fair, and the people did have a general. They didn't like him, but he kept the Corvosan routine going, which this city valued more than anything else. And now that disruption has led to all of this, so they are looking to lash out at anybody because their day-to-day has been ruined and pretty much destroyed. So, who's being accused of murdering the king? Well, Iliosa for one. These accusations were made during the riots itself, and it has been brought back to the forefront once again, something I don't think she was after. But there's another rumour flying around. Now, I mentioned Eardred was not a great man, and that was because of his extracurricular activities, especially with the ladies. And now talk is spreading around the city that it is supposedly one of his paramours that murdered him. But it's all speculation. The only one who knows for certain is perhaps Christina Croft of the Corvosan Guard. The Field Marshal was sent to Castle Corvosa during this period of downtime to investigate this claim, this claim that's been brought up by Castle Corvosa. An official investigation has been launched, and as it was to do with the royalty directly, she has to be involved. So, with the city once again building up to sheer anarchy, where is it going to go from here? Let's find out, and let's bring the game back in. So, we return to Corvosa on the Fire Day, Varus 21st, 4708 Absalon Reckoning, and it is supposed to be the player character's downtime period. But there is a problem. It's going to get interrupted. How? Takes the form of a couple of different ways. Arc, on this Fire Day, a sending spell is actually paid for, which isn't cheap, and sent to you by one of the more senior and powerful clerics of the Church of Abadar. This cleric informs you that this message was paid for by Lady Cressida Croft, and that she needs to see you at Citadel Volshnek immediately. For Feral and for Romeo, you are not so far away from Citadel Volshnek, just literally up the road. So a couple of guards members come to your shop while you are sorting out the re-establishment of the shop, hiring Bren and doing all of that. You are physically retrieved and requested to come to Citadel Volshnek immediately. It sounds urgent, and you see why immediately, because even walking up passing Eardred's Walk to Citadel Volshnek yourself, you witness the city in a state of absolute uproar. Ark, you more so than anybody else because you come from farther away. And that is what the criers have announced at the lunchtime period. It's about 1 in the afternoon now, but the criers came out and they announced something at midday, and that announcement was that it was indeed a paramour, according to Castle Corvosa, that is responsible for Eardred's death. This paramour is apparently a young artist by the name of Trinia Sabor, and a reward of 6 platinum pieces, which is 60 gold, has been put out to deliver her to justice. There is literally an outroar and essentially a manhunt going on throughout Corvosa right now, looking for this artist who is supposedly was a paramour of the late king. So, any reactions before we get to the Citadel as you make it through Corvosa? Is there anything you want to check out in regards to this whole scene you are seeing before you as you walk up to the Citadel? We'll start with Ark because Feral and Romeo is traveling together. Ark, is there anything you want to do, check out, maybe follow up on, or you just duck in, keeping your head down and get to the Citadel?
Can I use Corvosa politics to see if I know anything about this artist?
Sure. Secret check then, please, and yeah, give me a Corvosan law roll, politics roll. Okay. The artist herself, you know nothing about. However, you did hear, I beg your pardon, along the political scene, that a month before Idris' death, an artist was commissioned to do the king's portrait. You also know that this portrait was commissioned by the now missing Seneschal Neolandus Kalopoulos, but that is all you know.
Fair enough.
All right. Anything else, or?
No, I don't really know anything about this. I don't know if these rumors are this is a true manhunt, or you know what I mean. I have no information about this, so I'm going to keep my head down and keep walking. Okay,
so Romeo and Feral, as you walk through the streets, even being so close to the Citadel, especially around Eardred's Walk, which is a main meeting place. Anything you want to do on the walk up?
Yeah, I want to just if there's an open bounty for artists, I want to sort of see if I can hear any public talk about her.
In that case, give me a secret. I would say if you're listening for if you're listening for public talk, give me a secret perception check. If you're just listening in. Romeo, what about you?
Well, I was gonna see if I was kind of wondering if whereabouts she kind of does her art. Is it more in the south of the town, or does she normally work more north of the town? If anyone had seen her artwork in areas.
Yeah, no, secret society check then, please.
Sorry for my outburst. My screen went white again.
No, that actually didn't come across. You all good, mate?
Yeah, it's back on and working now.
All right. Romeo, secret society check. While you roll that up, I'll give Feral the results of his check. Feral, you don't hear anything, but it's because you're a bit distracted. And the reason why you're distracted is the crier's announcement. 6 platinum pieces for a bounty. Okay, this is a case of a extreme crime. This is a case of regicide, but 6 platinum? Ooh, that's high.
Very
Romeo?
high.
Yeah, Romeo. This artist, you've never heard of her before. You don't know any of her works. You don't know any information about her, not even a whisper or a rumor. At the best guess, it sounds like that she is just potentially an artist who got lucky getting this gig, or maybe she was somebody that Eardred met by chance, took a liking to, and instructed Neolandus to commission her.
So yeah, none of her artwork came ever through my shop or anything like that. So,
not to your knowledge, no.
No. So I wouldn't really care much about anything other than what I could sell.
No, that's more than fair enough. All right, so the three of you make it to Citadel Volshnek, and you notice that Ronish isn't with you. There undoubtedly would have been a summons for him, but the streets are literally packed. Abaddon knows what is... Oh, well, actually, Ark may have an idea. He lives on the heights. As a matter of fact, Ark, yeah, definitely yeah, because Old Corvosa is quite a cramped place. But Ark, even leaving the academy and looking out to the north from the high ground and looking down into Old Corvosa, it's jammed. The people are out on the streets, and it wouldn't be unrealistic to say that, well, Ronish is not here because, quite frankly, he cannot get out of Old Corvosa. The streets are getting jammed and tensions are rising once again. So when you arrive at the Field Marshal's office, you are quickly ushered in, and she greets you all, and she produces a weak smile as she says plainly to all of you, I suspect you have an idea why I have summoned you all here today.
Pretty much.
Outside, I guess. Everything is not seeming well, it seems.
Definitely a manhunt.
No sign of Ronish.
Not with that traffic. Good luck.
I am not surprised, but unfortunately I feel that we don't have the time to wait for him. Okay, to the point. I do have some more work for you, and I got a feeling you in particular will be needed to deal with this situation. So allow me to just get on with it. You've doubtly have heard the stories now that the King's killer has been named. Yet there's something more going on here, I'm afraid. The Queen, even with the palace guard alone, could have had this Trinia Sabor arrested quietly at any time. Yet the way in which she has revealed the information to the city seems to me like she wants the riots to come back. I know I shouldn't be saying that of that Royal Highness, but she looks at you for reaffirmation here. She doesn't doubt herself, but she just wants to know if you're on the same wavelength of thinking, as she just basically expresses, do I have a point here, or am I missing something?
No, you have a point. This is messy.
I mean,
And we can't and the Crown really can't afford to be messy when dealing with things like this.
I mean, announcing a bounty is one thing, even for the monarchy, but you're shouting 6 platinum at a time where half the city has been burnt down and things. It's gonna be another riot. It's gonna be an onslaught.
She looks at Romeo. Romeo, you've been in the city since the beginning. Even you've seen the good and the evil of this city and everything in between. What's your take on this situation?
It seems rather abrupt. It seems like it's very hastily brought forward. I don't know why, but if you're wanting to find someone that is an unknown, rapidly throwing out 9, what was it?
6 platinum, Romeo.
6 platinum, and making the whole town aware. It seems like she's pushing something else. I don't know why, but for some reason I feel like she's trying to hide something that is more than what it seems. It's like, why throw out such a large gesture, making everyone look and go to the streets, as it was, yet for something that they could have easily dealt with
themselves.
Yeah.
Cressida folds her arms and she says, well, let's put it this way. Do you think the city, with the way it is, do you think she's going to get any chance of a fair trial?
No.
I don't even think she's even going to get to a trial if
Oh,
the way...
no. No. If she's got a manhunt, there's going to be a trial. How do you unite a people fractured? You give them a spectacle.
Oh, yes. Would you like to know what I also discovered when I investigated these claims at Castle Corvosa itself?
Go on.
It was indeed confirmed that the Lake King was indeed murdered via some form of poison. A guard confessed to being an accomplice of Miss Sabor's and did actually seal a full written confession that was given to Commander Merrin. However, I found it very suspicious that when I went to Castle Corvosa to investigate this matter as per procedure, again, I do not wish to use the word validate, but it is what it is. Imagine my surprise when I have found out that this guard who had signed this written confession, out of shame, had supposedly committed suicide by jumping out of the high tower window.
Well, this is just sloppy.
He was imprisoned in the high tower. Doesn't seem right.
Well, I can confirm. One moment, Romeo. I can confirm that there indeed was a guard who took his life out of shame. We found him on the Grand Mastaba. Wasn't pretty. But when I looked at the window that he supposedly jumped from, I noticed signs of a struggle there. Something's going on.
It begins to sound like a cover-up.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Croft, but I assume given the stature of the, let's call it brilliance, given that they're monarchy, but wouldn't they have a master of coin who would have paid out from the treasury to the artist, so they would have a name and an address?
That was the Seneschal, Neolandus Kaelopoulos, but he's disappeared. And as for his official records in his role, he's took them with him.
This is all seeming far too convenient.
Forgive me, Fly Sergeant, you wanted to add to this conversation. I just wanted to get the information out first. What was it you have on your mind?
I'm just perplexed on why they would have him commit, if it is he has taken his own life, in the high tower. Everyone in the town can see the high tower. Seeing someone jump from that situation would make mass hysteria.
Well, because of what's been happening in the city, no one has seemed to have noticed and cared. However, the Grand Mastaba is large in itself. With the tower on top, it's in the clouds. It's probably hard to get a visualization, and the weather has been a bit erratic over the past few days. It's been rainy, but no, you are right, but nobody has seemed to have noticed the guard fall to his death. However, that's not the issue right now. That's unfortunately a problem for later. The immediate problem is Miss Sabor. Now, before Trinia is captured and executed, I need to be absolutely sure she's guilty. It could very well be the case. Eardred did have his reputation, and well, it could be a perfect way for an assassin to slip into the mist and take the king's life, so I need to be sure. But that means we need to catch her before somebody else does. Now, I managed to do a little bit of digging. Once again, my contact, Vencarlo Orsini, it's helped me out here. And we've been able to find Trinia's last known address. Here in the Midlands district at 42 Moon Street. But soon, so will the rest of the guard. Well, that address is not going to stay anonymous for long. The rest of the guard will find it. The mob itself, the Hell Knights, and even the Sable Company are now looking for these women. It's now looking for this woman. Forgive me, I slip of the words today. These rumours have riled up the locals something fierce. And, well, she holds her arms out in exclamation. Even the Hell Knights, as I've just mentioned, are involved now. On top of this, she looks at Ark in regards to conversations that you two have been having recently. Word is that Queen Iliosa is not satisfied with what the Corvosan guards has been doing to address the situation.
Of course she's not. She wants to put her new force in place.
Exactly. The rumours that she's going to attempt to disband us and the Sable Company and reveal a new guard force to help bring order to this city is well and truly in place now. I've even had recruiters coming around for this new guard force, so is the Sable Company, even the Hell Knights. Well,
they are brave to ask the Hell Knights.
She looks up and she says, yes, but the crown has coin. We're a small state, but we're a rich one. But I've still got a few... Sorry, Romeo.
They did come on her command before, so it's not
her command.
Untoward.
Not her command, Fly Sergeant, her wallet.
Yep.
Well, yes, that's why I'm saying is that she called for them before, and they arrived within days of just a small, partly divided town, and if she's now got enough coin to make her own army, as they would, I could see them quite easily being swayed to join her.
Not everyone agrees with not everyone agrees with the Hell Knights' methods, not even some members of the Hell Knights themselves. But luckily, in regards to the Corvosan Guard, I still have a fair number of guards who are loyal to me. But the problem is, I've got them working on for things out there getting any worse. And if I was to send any guards directly into the main part of Midland itself, what do you think's going to happen?
Oh, we'll know what's going to happen.
Riot 2, the sequel. So, I can you can see where this is going. I need you to go into Midland, find Trinia, and bring her back here to me so we can deliver her safe and sound to somewhere she can be interrogated, preferably by magic with the Zone of Truth spell, so we can be absolutely sure about her role in Eardred II's death. Get in there, catch her, and get out without letting the mob or the Hell Knights or even the Queen's Guards get their hands on her.
Oh, the Queen's Guards are definitely going to be gunning for her. I can guarantee that much. They're probably already out there.
I have
Question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Farrell. I just wanted to let you know that I have loyal agents and officers nearby to take her into custody once you have her. But, yes, you got a question, my friend?
Question to the GM. Hell Knights aren't situation in Corvosa, are they? Because they had to sail in.
They have to sail in, but they do have a headquarters / barracks here in Corvosa if they need it.
Right. Okay. No, because when we were talking, they had come through the North Bridge, and some went off to the outskirts of the city, and the rest came down to the where the fishery is. Knowing that they may, if they had to have travelled by boat that distance, that they would have been away from Corvosa at the time. I've known where they would have come from side of the area.
They're all over the city now.
I know, but previously, when the riot started, and they were like, "Oh, they're already here."
Yeah, they pretty much dispersed themselves all over the city. They just went to those 2 points of entry, as you know, for maximum effect. But yeah, they have a headquarters here in Corvosa if they ever choose to use it, and they've been using it since.
Fair enough. Because my question was, were they already here? Was a contingent already here, or was it just the ones that came on the boat and they have stayed?
They pretty much, those ones that came on the boat, they pretty much sent their full contingent. They don't mess around. Yeah, they don't mess around. Citadel Varid at the moment will be on skeleton crew. Of raid, sorry, Citadel Raid.
That's the one. That's the point that is scratching at my brain. Is like, if when the riot started and they said, right, okay, we'll send for them. How long would it have taken to muster all them to sail down? Would have been a couple of days at least. They seem to have come here too early, so I think something is up with that.
All right, that's fair, and that's potentially an avenue to pursue. All right, that's badass. So Cressida is clearly worried about this situation, and she promises you a reward of 60 gold pieces coming out of her own purse for this, if they could deliver Trinia safe and sound to a member of the Corvosan Guard or one of her loyal agents that are in the region. She will tell you which ones to look out for, because she has instructed them to wear their uniforms in a particular style and way. The specifics of that is irrelevant for the game. You'll just know one when you see one. But yeah, basically she wants you to get into Midlands, go to 42 Moon Street, find Trinia and get her out of there and to her before anybody else gets to her.
On your map that you have on the wall, whereabouts is the house?
By the power of convenience and plot, let me show you. On the Corvosan map, I'll even give a view to those watching in. 42 Moon Street is not too far away from Dominus Square, but it is northwest from Citadel Volshnik, heading into the Midlands region proper. Roughly between, I would say, for those listening in, Trinia's flat is halfway between Citadel Volshnik and the Academy. As a matter of fact, it is almost kind of right in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah, give or take.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's where 42 Moon Street is. Who's putting up some circles?
Sorry, I'm trying to... I was doing measurement on this one. Oh, let me deselect it now. Okay.
It's fine. All right. So, is there any questions for Cressida at all anymore, or you're going straight up to Moon Street?
So, we know full well that a lot of people will know who Trinia is from that area. Are we going to be expecting a lot of rabble around her home? Because most artists want their work out in public eye, so she's not going to be a very secretive person when it comes to telling everyone that she was always a painter and an artist, and
Priscilla
what are we
looks
going to do? What are we going to do about the citizens?
Yeah, Priscilla looks at you honestly and she says, I do not know. This is why I'm sending you and not Corvos and Guard to do this. I would normally send Guard members to do this exact thing that you're talking about. But if they turn up in Midlands, riot instantly. Now, you could be right. For example, Trinia's neighbours would have certainly heard of her. But we don't know what the situation is there at the moment. It's another reason why you are going. I wish Ronish was with you, but as you can see, time is of the essence.
What are we going to do about if there is? I don't really want to be attacking citizens of Corvosa.
Then we deceive her to what they think. I have a nice little scroll that'll turn her to make her look like a guard for a bit. Always
You are
handy.
all, yeah, you are all incredibly capable, and you all have your skill sets. I'm sure you can work with the situation, perhaps better than what my guards can do, because that's the advantage of adventurers. You are more adaptable. Guards are trained in their ways, and they're good at what they do, but their skill sets are very set. Yours are more fluid. You don't wish to fight the Corvosan citizens? Don't. Think of a way around it. You do have the right to defend yourselves, of course, but that's the thing, and that's why I'm sending you. Do what you think is not only right, but the best course of action in order to accomplish this task. You have that flexibility as freelancers.
Right.
So we have our permission to go hands-on. That is good. Good.
If you are set upon,
don't kill.
if you are set upon, then defend yourselves, of course. But as I said before, don't ask me no questions, and I won't tell you no lies. This is the reason why I hire adventurers. Again, that flexibility.
Right. With that, I have two quick questions for you, because something's been bothering me, Croft.
Very well.
One, do you think it was too quick for those Hell Knights to arrive you as they did when the riot started? And two, have you got a shield I could borrow?
Yes, grab one from the quartermaster, and as for the Hell Knights, no. They are always ready to mobilise at the moment's notice. We are their primary customer.
So you didn't think it was too quick that they turned up?
All it would have just taken was one magical sending spell that the castle is able to produce with ease, and the Hell Knights would have been ready to mobilise within the hour.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It just seemed very quick to me.
I agree.
How far did they travel?
That's what I'm trying to estimate.
All right, I will. Okay, I won't show the map for today because I kind of want to crack on with this scenario. But Citadel Vraid is not too far away from Corvosa. I've not even done the rule at all. Citadel Vraid is only 21 miles to the southwest.
Oh, fair enough.
So it would. It's within a day. That's okay.
Yeah, they are close. They are close, and they picked this spot they picked that spot in Citadel Vraid, moving from Citadel Altarian for a very specific reason. Because originally they were going to protect this Chalish colony, but since the split, the colony has now become their #1 customers.
And remind me, there was already 1 day of riots before they turned up, wasn't there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep, okay, never mind. My suspicions have now been quenched.
No, it's a good question. It is a very good question. As for a shield, feel free to take that from the inventory, from a companion. They'll lash you one for that. Especially as you've been giving donations to them in terms of equipment as well. All right, so off to Moon Street.
Yep.
Right then, feel free to move yourselves up there. So far with a nice little drawing, mate.
No, I'm trying to see which would be the best course without just going straight to direct.
I'm going to be honest, just for the sake of speed, don't worry about that. Let's just get that. Yeah. I don't want to rush. Yeah, I don't want to rush the scenario. That's not my intention. But the whole reason why she's sending you in is, despite the hustle and bustle of the crowds, you can get to Moon Street without issue.
Yeah.
And arriving there in Moon Street, you actually notice that the rooms around here is compact. Moon Street is built in with itself, and this densely built section of the city is so thick that direct sunlight at ground level is a rarity. Above you see jury-rig catwalks overhanging roofs, lines of laundry and homemade bridges of rope and boards create a cluttered tangle, a multi-level mess of gutters, upper floor and rooftops. This slum above you is the region known as the Shingles. But the mob or any of the other guard forces are not here yet. They haven't found her here yet. So what are you doing? Let's get some exploration in, because you are exploring. You're looking for this lady. So what is everyone doing for exploration? Let's start with you, Feral.
Well, that's if I take the scout action, I can be prepared for anything that may come our way, and the other two can do the more problematic ways of trying to find her.
Okay, so scout, so just in case initiative situation pops up, all of you will have a +1 to your initiatives. Ark, what are you doing?
It will be the search action.
All right then, secret perception check for now then, please. Romeo, what are you doing?
Kind of basically the same, because I'm guessing it would be search for, because I'm going to be looking for any like drains or any access tunnels to the sewer systems that's in this area. Would it be search or investigate?
That's because you're looking for something specifically. Secret perception check, that would be search.
Search, yep.
All right. So, as you enter Moon Street itself, and you arrive in this rather cramped-in area of Corvosa, you notice that Trina actually lives in a building which is an old tenement. It's about 3 floors high and containing at least 24 flats, many of which appeared to be artists, singers, students, and artisans. Careful, Topher.
Sorry, my tea hit the microphone.
Apologies, headphone. Apologies, headphone users. Now, you look around this area, and Ark, you pretty much do not get accosted, but you are pretty much distracted by the tenants who live here. They're basically running interference for Trinia. The people around here seem to be on their side, and they are on the lookout for anyone who is even potentially looking for her. Romeo, you take a look around as Ark is being distracted. You are able to at least focus your senses. In fact, Ark is pretty much taking the flank here. But you look for sewer exits, you look for sewer entrances and stuff like that. And then you realise something. You're a Sable Company. You know this better than most. You don't look low, you look high. And you look up to the shingles. If anyone's going to escape out of here, it's through there. Feral, you're on the scout. Yeah, these neighbours are drawing interference for Trinia. But they're not doing it deliberately. They're not doing it aggressively. As a matter of fact, they're actually being rather polite. As a matter of fact, it won't change your scouting, but Feral, can you make me a secret sense motive check, please? Private. That's a private perception roll, please.
Perception, okay.
Yes. And you're a fighter now, so your perception is pretty tasty.
Was anyway.
Okay, so you look around and you look on these people's faces and they seem a bit enamored by Trinia. You get the impression of these neighbours that they think of her as a decent and sweet person. So you make your way around up to number 42, but these neighbours are drawing interference. However, you found out the information that you have found out. Is there anything you would like to do from here at this point?
If there is anyone that's sort of deflecting our path, though politely, I'm just going to lean in and whisper, it's like, we've been here to protect her. We don't want to arrest her. If word gets out this is where she lives, the mob north of here that's going to be coming down, baying for blood, followed by the Hell Knights. Need to keep her safe. The thing I've got out on me is the buckler from the Kavosan Guard. All my weapons are sheathed. So I'm not putting any sort of threatening presence out, apart from my overall look.
Okay, right. Unfortunately, you don't have any diplomacy, so...
I don't.
They look at you, but they're kind of not taking your word for it, because although your buckler is out, and it's only your buckler, you are pretty armed to the teeth. Ark, Romeo, what about you two?
Noting that they're running interference now, I would probably change my activity to make an impression.
Okay, and what sort of impression are you trying to make?
It's more of a ones that, like, Feral said that we're here to help her, protect her, and get her out of any trouble before the mob comes. Like, we're not here to cause trouble, we're here to help.
And what about you, Romeo? Anything with this information in mind? And for the record, I always presume that the information that you find out from your perception checks or your secret checks, you share. You know, it's it's just easier that way, and it's just simpler. Unless you specifically specify as players that you don't, I'm just going to presume that you do. It's just easier. Mm-hmm. So, Romeo, anything from your end?
Just a quick ask. I put it kind of in Discord. Is the roofing kind of like that scene in Mission Impossible where they're running over the roofing and they've got like small bridges connecting houses?
More denser.
I'm thinking more like shantytown roofing.
It is literally a shantytown up on the roof.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Would I think more the official Marvel Incredible Hulk film when they're running through Brazil, the rooftop, and then side streets.
Prohibited is also a great one. Is what they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So could I find like the lowest building that's near to where Trinia's flat is, that I could look to see about climbing up to and moving up towards her flat while they're distracting the people milling around and stopping people getting to her?
I'm going to have to say that the first thing you're going to have to do then is you're going to have to change your exploration action to sneak. Are you proficient in stealth?
Yes, I am.
All right, if that is what you're committing to, then I would need a secret stealth check from you, please, as you change your exploration action to seek. Ark, can you give me because diplomacy is always public, can you give me an open diplomacy roll? Well, I'm going to say Feral, even though you're untrained, as you are the one who are speaking the words as well. I want you to make me an untrained assist roll first, DC 20 for this one as well.
Come on. Oh no.
Can I hero point that?
You can actually hero point any D20 roll, so go ahead. You're down to 3 in the table, 3 in the pool.
Yeah, at least it's not a critical fail.
Slightly better.
Yes, that was again for those listening in, that was a total of 12 with a 10 off the dice, so that is not a success, but it wasn't a critical fail, which the original roll was. Ark, you make your diplomacy check yet?
No, I was just waiting to see if the bonus would have been added, so here we go.
Oh yes, of course, yes, no bonus.
I am probably going to use a hero point in that as well, because that was a 16, a 7 off the die.
Alright, go ahead.
Reroll. Even worse. No. Oh, this is not going well.
2 off the die for an 11.
An 11, yeah.
Not a critical failure, though. The people are not convinced because Feral is armed to the teeth. He doesn't have them out, but he is a walking ornament. However, this does seem to provide enough of a distraction for Romeo to slip away. And Romeo, you do quite successfully. However, I'm now going to ask you to make me a follow-up athletics check, please. A secret as well.
Oh, I wish it could have been acrobatics. Parkour up the wall.
No, you're climbing. Parkour is tumbling.
Oh, this is gonna be hard. Old man trying to climb up a wall.
All right. It is a case of old man trying to climb up a wall. However, you form a sable company. You're not trained in athletics, but the handholds and the way that this section is built and put together, I'm actually going to rule it would increase the DC, but you actually do not need training. And I will actually reveal to you now that you met the adjusted DC at 20 exactly on the nozzle, Romeo. So you managed to slip past the people quite well, and you do actually manage to slinky up to 42 Moon Street, flat 42, and through a window, and you are convinced you are still hidden to her, you see a woman who is trying to get some rest and has blatantly been sleeping in her gear, looking like she's getting ready to move, as you enter or see a scene through the window of somebody knocking on her door, blatantly giving her a signal. She's human, Corvosan, fairly young, can't be no older than 25 tops, short, blonde hair, and of course, it's all in the eyes of the beholder, but she is fairly pretty. Young, definitely athletic, and from her movements you can tell she's also very well coordinated. Her face radiates some intelligence, but with a hint of cheekiness to them. There is definitely a bucket load of natural charisma here with this woman. However, at the moment she is looking incredibly concerned, especially as you hear that knock ring on her door.
Can I instantly hunt prey on her?
You can.
So that I know and I can keep an eye on her even when she tries to slip away.
Let's go back into inside the building while Romeo has done his little mission outside. Here's the thing. The people here are running interference for Trinia, but they are not physically trying to stop you, and they wouldn't even dare. So you can get up to 42 yourself from the other side without issue. What are you doing when you get to the door? Gentlemen?
Oh, is that directed to all of us?
No,
To use two.
Used to.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh.
right, okay.
Sorry,
Right.
I did.
I thought you were still talking about Topher.
yeah.
Really? I was like,
Yeah.
while that was going on.
I'm hanging onto the outside of the wall, and you
Yeah.
both
Oh, okay.
walked through the
I
building.
missed the while this was going on.
Oh no,
Sorry.
that's
My bad.
right. It's all
I've got
good.
Starfield on the main.
If we're outside 42 now, is there a crowd around us?
No, the people are not trying to physically interfere with you in the slightest.
Okay.
You want to knock or shall I?
You do it. I'll keep an eye out.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I just knock.
And then we're going to have in the fiction of our show, we're going to have a split screen. Because it's not actually the secret knock that alerts Trinia that somebody is there, so she's getting ready to move. It's actually Ark's knock, because it was not the knock she was listening out for. She basically had set something up with her neighbours, and as she hasn't heard that particular knock, she starts to get up and go, and Topher, from your outside
From the
looking
window.
in, yeah, from the window, you can see that she is about to
Come towards the window.
put in place a barricade that she has erected in front of the door, and then make a leap out of the window and out onto the shingles.
If she's coming towards the window, I'm gonna go the other way through the window, and intercept her. Basically,
All right. In that case, then, what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of old-fashioned initiative. So, Romeo, here's what I mean by old-fashioned initiative. We're going to use Dex to calculate speed. So, Romeo, can you roll me a d20 with your dexterity attribute modifier, which I think is +4, and I'll roll Trinia's, and basically we'll see who gets there first. I will say you can have a +1 to your initiative roll from the scouting because you were prepared, and also, yeah, I'm actually going to say your stealthing actually overrules the scouting. So add a +2 bonus circumstance to your initiative roll. So I think that's a 1d20 +6 for you.
Yeah.
All right. So you roll that, and we'll do it old school style where it's opposed rolls. So make it public. So Trinia rolls a 19.
And I rolled a 19.
All right. By the rules
Plus-
by the rules of Pathfinder 2E,
Plus-
in the event of a tie, the result goes to the player. So you hear her say, "Oh gods, all right, time to go. All right, Trinia, time to go." But you manage to step in front of the window before she does, and you block her path. What do you do?
Miss Saber, I believe. Please do not hesitate. I'm here to help you.
I'm gonna like basically try and put my body kind of in the window, like almost like a leg almost over the window, so that it's basically, if she tries to push me, I've got at least something holding me within her trying to force me out. I'm like,
Please, we promise you, we are not here to attack you or do anything.
All right, then. We are going to go into RP encounter mode. So can everyone roll initiative, please? Can it be perception-based or potentially... yeah. Romeo, can I have a perception... Not perception, a diplomacy initiative? And I'm going to say Ark and Feral... roll regular initiative, please, because you will hear Romeo talking. So here we go. Let's change the music up for this. I've lost my mouse. Love it when that happens. Okay. And I seem to have lost the sound of the dice rolls as well. So apologies for that.
can't.
People.
You can see my dice roll, but everyone else is coming up solid black.
Foundry.
Oh, Foundry.
yeah, I was gonna say I literally had all used just pure black screens, and then mine just by itself.
I see everyone's dice, but I don't hear any.
Alright, refresh your screens. Try that. Okie dokie. I'll just roll initiative for Trinia. She's rolling perception as she is startled by Romeo. So let's go in icon order. Feral, what did you roll for initiative?
I believe it was a 22. Hang on, I'm just coming back in there. Just get to yes, 22.
Ark
15.
and Romeo.
It was a 18.
So we begin encounter mode, and this RP, well, actually it's turned out to be a RP based encounter, and I'm trying to get my mouse working again. There we go. We actually start with Feral. So Feral, this is an RP based encounter, so again the free actions are a bit more looser in terms of the 6-second time span, but where we open up is with you hearing Romeo's words from the other side. He managed to sneak around to the other window, and he has appeared to intercept her before she managed to bolt. So what are you doing?
As I hear that, did I also hear her barricading the door?
As you beat her in initiative, let's see. You even beat her dexterity check, I believe. Yes, you did. Yep, you did hear her. She did it rather quietly, but you did hear her reinforce the door.
Okay. If the front door's locked, I just want to do can I shield bash the door open if it's locked?
Okay.
Wait, have I got shield bash? I'm learning new fighting things.
You won't have.
Oh, I got shield block, not bash.
Yeah,
I'll put my strength through the door.
Yeah, this. Okay, right, cool. This will just be an athletics check. To use a shield bash action in this game, you need to put an item, a weapon called a shield boss,
Right.
onto your shield in order to do that. But if you want to make an athletics check to try and open the door, go ahead and give me an athletics roll, please.
I was going to say, I do have sudden charge as well, so Ark will probably see me take a couple of steps back, and then me doing a quick charge through.
All right, then. In that case, go ahead. Give me an athletics check.
Athletics. Unnatural 20.
Okay, on that dirty 20, that is actually enough to get the door open. So,
I'd say sort of pop the lock rather than take it off the hinges, you know?
okay, so basically what you do is you manage to pull down on the handle and you are able to just pop the lock, and then more of sort of like I would say this would cost 2 actions then, as you're not dambustering through, you're just kind of pushing the door open, even pushing all the blockage to the side. You have 1 action left, I'll say, after that, Feral. What would you like to do?
Right. I will head upstairs to where I heard them speak.
It's not upstairs. It is just a 1-floor apartment style flat.
Oh, so I'm actually in the flat.
Yes, you were basically outside of the door and you've opened the door up, and I'll give you the descriptor of the flat actually. And this has been a bit crazy. I haven't even managed to get the descriptor out. This one-room flat combines all the amenities of a bedroom, a kitchen, and a painter's studio, leaving little space for much else. A stack of cheese and bread sits on the counter next to several full water skins, while the easel in the opposite corner holds a half-completed painting of an imp and a house drake fighting each other atop a church steeple. A single window looks over the tangled rooftops of the city, and under it sits a low bed. So you've opened up, you see Trinia in front of you, 1 foot on the bed, window next to it, and that is where Romeo is.
I'll take a double look at that painting quickly and go, that's very good. Adam, we're here to protect you. I suggest you try a thing stupid. Worse people than us are on their way.
Alright, give us another diplomacy assist roll. That's either Romeo or Ark will have to contend with.
Okay. Be high. That was almost 19. That's 11 again. That's going to be a fail.
It's not a critical failure though, so it's not so bad. Alright, Romeo, you're up next.
Seeing them bash through the door, my first reaction would have been to grab my bow and arrow and hoik it out. And basically just as preparing to see if whoever came through the door, seeing Feral come through, Feral,
Hey.
this here is the lady we are, I presume, we are looking for. Ma'am, listen, he is with me. We are not here to harm you. We are trying to protect you. We've heard about the things that have been said about you, and some of us do not believe that this is the case.
All right, give me a diplomacy check, and I'm going to say this will cost you 2 actions, but because as you whipped your bow out and pointed it at the door as if to protect her from anyone that's coming through, I would say that that is going to give you a circumstance bonus, as you have shown a willingness of protection. So yeah, 1 action to draw the bow, and yeah, okay. So as you haven't fired, 1 action to draw, and as you've shown protection, add a plus. I'm just going to say a +1. If Ferrell would have got the assist in, it would have been a +2, but I'm going to say a +1 to this diplomacy check.
Is it circumstance? Yeah.
It will be circumstance. Yes.
Okay. Just to make sure.
Okay. Right, awesome. DC for her. This is essentially make an impression.
That is a 16.
I hear no call.
No.
So you've got 1 action left, Romeo. You'll find out her reaction on her turn.
Yeah. I'm just going to basically plant myself, like, basically between the window. So I'm basically in and out of the window. And just, like, slowly lowering the bow.
Okay. Alright, it's Trinia's turn. So, I will reveal that that check was a failure. Let's see, I am double checking make an impression. I believe it's against will. It is the will DC of the opponent. Unfortunately, that is a failure against her, not a critical failure. So let's have a look at this. You have shown protection, but Beryl has pushed the door open, even though it was non-threat. Well, even though it wasn't a boot open. Yeah. I'm thinking she's just going to panic, and she is just going to run. So what she's going to attempt to do for her first action is she's going to try and tumble through you, Romeo. What's your reflex DC?
That would be a 21.
All right. She fails off the first attempt, but she's got 3 actions. Second attempt. It's a meets beats. She panics, clearly, blatantly scared and afraid for her life. And she agilely and quickly tumbles through you and out into the shingles.
How far away is she from me?
How big's the window?
She slipped through you, mate.
I know, just wondering how big the actual window was because of me being in between it.
Yeah, but it's mechanics of the game, mate. This is high fantasy fantasy after all. So a little bit of leeway. It says in the rules you can move through an opponent's square space with a tumble. So that's what she's done. So she slips through Romeo, and that is actually where we enter. Hold on. Method to the madness, because that is actually where we exit encounter mode and we go, if my mouse decides to work. My mouse is dying on me today. Yay! There's a reason why I don't use this second mouse. We actually go into chase mode. So, I presume that you are all legging it after her.
I was going to say, how far away is she from me originally when I was in the room?
It doesn't matter. We're going into chase mode now to deal with this situation. It's not going to be a case of encounter mode now. We're going into chase. And I will say, because of your positioning in the room, there is going to be an advantage to this. And that advantage is the fact that instead of being 2 steps ahead, she is only going to be 1. And I'll explain how chase mode works. Chase mode is a narrative skill check subsystem. What happens is, as you chase Trinia over the shingles of Corvosa, you will come across an obstacle that you will need to defeat. To defeat this obstacle, you will have to earn chase points. Chase points are acquired by overcoming the obstacle, which will have 2 main checks to it. A primary check with a low DC and a secondary check that you can use, which will have a slightly higher DC. However, do not be afraid to get funky either. Think of your skills, think of even your spells and your abilities. For example, Romeo's Hunt Prey, I will say, will enable him to have a +1 circumstance bonus to all of his checks that he's going to make in the shingles, because he's keeping a track on Trinia. Now, you have to earn 3 chase points in order to move on from an obstacle. 1 chase point per member of the party. You earn the chase points by the skill checks. A regular success will give you 1 chase point. A critical success will give you 2 chase points. And a critical failure will give you a -1. Trinia also has to make the same checks, as she is alone though. She only has to earn 1 chase point, and she always goes first in a chase. So she is at the first obstacle, and here is what she finds. Okay, so she's either got to make a acrobatics or a athletics check. She's going to go for acrobatics. Okay, and she is successful, and she moves on to the next space of the board. It's now the party's turn. As you bolt out of the window and chase after her, you enter the cluttered rooftops of the shingles. Chimneys, refuge, various ropes, cables and pulleys litter the rooftops of this section. You can either get through this section using acrobatics to weave around the clutter, that is the primary check, or the secondary check is athletics to climb across. What are you doing?
Like I said prior to this, I got sudden charge. Would any other exploration help with these as well?
Going into chase mode, as I said, don't be afraid to get funky.
I was going to say, if I do a sudden charge, exploration of, oh, hang on, what's it called? Is it follow the leader or expert?
Follow the expert.
The expert. So if I do that, then those two could do the same as me, and then they can do, they can attempt to do the sudden charge as well. Could be a thing.
No, that's not a thing, unfortunately, because that's an encounter mode based ability. What I will say is though, because this is what I mean by get funky, as we're coming out of an encounter mode based scenario, what I will say is very similar to Romeo's Hunt Prey. Is we could say that you sudden charge onto the cluttered rooftops, and I will give you a +1 to the respective check that you attempt to use in order to get past this first obstacle, Feral.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
because you bursted with sudden speed. I know we've moved into one system into a Pathfinder 2e subsystem, but how are you getting past this first obstacle?
If I add a little flavour to it, then for the rest of the party, if I do a sudden charge, I take out the window. It means they can just walk through.
This is a narrative-based thing with skill checks. So yeah, that's what happens. Feral sudden charges and bursts out of the rooftops. Feral, then to earn your chase point over this first obstacle with a +1 from the sudden charge, make me an athletics check then, please.
Yeah, so that would be one circumstance. There we go. Oh, 28.
That is actually a critical success. You earn 2 chase points out of 3 needed. Who wants to take it next? It's free form.
Is there ways to slow her down?
We're in the chase mode rules, mate.
Like, make it more difficult for her to run.
You have to catch her.
So it's just chasing her without slowing her down, or
we're essentially in a mini game, mate.
All right.
If we can get into the exact same square she is, we can attempt jank to slow her down.
Pretty much, yes. We're essentially in a narrative mini game, and this is how this actually ran in first edition as well. It wasn't an encounter map over the rooftop shingles. That map would have been just way too big. Although I will say, this background art you see on this board is actually the art for chasing Trinia over the shingles, which I quite like. That is Trinia literally flying away in front of you. So it is literally that scenario that you see before you. So, who wants to take the next check in order to get over the first obstacle, which is the cluttered rooftop?
Now, this isn't exactly my wheelhouse for chasing people. I'm just reading something quickly.
Yeah, Romeo, do you want to take it? Because you do have acrobatics, and that is the primary check for this, with the lower DC.
Yeah. I was just thinking that I was going to be able to throw stuff out the way to make it easier. Because of
you can
telekinetic projectile.
You can do that as well. If you want to do that, what I'm going to rule is that will be akin to the athletics check. You can make the DC 8. I will let you know, the acrobatics is DC 15, anything else is DC 18. So if you want to use telekinetic projectile, like I said, get funky. If you want to use telekinetic projectile to do that, you can make me a spell attack roll aiming for DC 18.
Spell attack rolls will be that.
If it's better than your acrobatics, then go for it.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be +9 over, and it would be a +11 on acrobatics.
All right.
So I'll use my. Can I re-roll that?
Yes, you can hero point these skill checks. So that was a 13. Go ahead and give us a re-roll.
Come on. Oh, natural 20 for 31.
Okay, so that is another critical success. If Ronish would have been with you, it would have meant you needed 4 chase points to finish that first article. So between you and Feral alone, you have done it. So so narrate this. How do you get over the cluttered rooftops then? So Feral busts through the window, chase after Romeo. So chase after Trinia. So Romeo, what is it that you do using your acrobatics, and how would that critical success do you help Ark get across the cluttered rooftops?
Well, seeing Feral running at me while I'm partway through a window, realizing how big and how strong he was, I realize very quickly that he's not stopping and he's literally just going to charge. So I basically roll onto my back and all I see is him just crush through the wall, almost Hulk style, out the window and past me as I basically roll backwards. And basically, I'm going to turn, and basically, as I'm running, I'm just going to be like pushing, like using the any means possible to just push the small objects out of the way, and try and follow Feral's sprint in the direction as he's basically cluttered a load of debris out of the wall.
So, Ark, literally all you have to do is just follow Romeo's footing, and you don't have to make any checks. All right. So we go on to the next obstacle for Trinia now. So Trinia is going to make a check here as well. She is actually going to use acrobatics again. Okay, she crit succeeds on that acrobatics check, and you just see her nimbly dodge depth, and she goes through that section. Alright, as you chase after her, the next section that you come across this time is you come across very, very narrow rooftops. The gaps between the buildings are bridged by very unsturdy looking boards. The primary check for this overcome is athletics to leap across, or acrobatics, which is the secondary check to balance over the beams. So who wants to start here?
Well, I guess I think I'm in the lead, aren't I?
You are barreling through. Do you want to try and make a powerful leap?
Yeah, I'll take the athletics again.
Yes. And by the way, Romeo, plus remember, you're going to get a +1 to all of these checks because you got a hunt parade. So, go ahead, Feral, give us an athletics check.
I was just thinking, there's the exploration of track. I track her while I'm doing it? Will that give me anything?
You're not exactly in exploration, though. You're in a sudden manic chase. You're running at full you've just run through a window.
I'm just thinking if I can try and add additional things to this, but never mind.
Can I do guidance on everyone?
Yes, you can.
While everyone's running.
Yes, you can. That's the funkiness that I was talking about. So, do you want to give guidance to Feral?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Feral, make your athletics check then, please, and just manually add a +1 to the roll.
+1.
Yes. Your tokens.
Should I just hit?
Yeah, just
hit circumstance.
Yeah, just hit it, or just roll it, and we'll just add a +1 manually, the old-fashioned way.
I'll just do circumstances, but.
All right.
Oh, 15.
All right, on the nozzle, whoosh, that's 1 chase point, so Feral is over. Who wants to take it next? So you got narrow rooftops with dodgy looking boards.
Really got nothing.
I know, but that's why I said think of your spells as well. Art, get funky with it.
My spells don't help me in this.
Okay, so it's down to Romeo then. Romeo.
Yeah. So it's basically a kind of like thin bridge that we're kind of running across.
Yeah, a narrow gap between buildings is bridged by unsteady looking boards.
Okay. I'm just gonna, as nimble as I can, basically following what she had done. I'm basically going to be where she had basically stepped and ran quite comfortably. I'm just going to run on almost on the basically the same boards.
All right, then give us an acrobatics check then, please, to balance over the boards.
Yeah. That is a 28.
Romeo's doing the work. DC 18, that is a critical success. That's 3 chase points. So how do you help Arc through?
Literally, I'm basically just as I'm running, I'm gonna try and shift the boards to make it so it's a lot more steady that he can like move along without having to really like force himself to have to hop across the boardings.
All right. So, Ark, you once again help through as Trinia goes on to the next obstacle, and she seems to actually rear back at this obstacle, like something's really put her off about it. So she's got 2 checks to make here. Let's have a look. So what does she have? Yeah, she's got to use perception. Okay. She gets through just. So we'll go to the player characters and next obstacle. You see why Trinia, when she was at point 3, why she was very careful. You find that this roofing is in a state of disrepair. Half finished repair tiles litter all of the area here and beams across the building. Out of these tiles and out of this half finished roof, you see jagged nails all over the place. To overcome this obstacle, the primary check is perception to spot the nails and weave yourselves around, or acrobatics to pick your way through them. Who wants to take it first?
Is it a large distance that got nails, or is it just like 5 foot, 10 foot gap?
It is presumed that it's the whole rooftop, but what do you have in mind?
If it was only a small distance, or even if it's like 15 feet, I would throw the buckler onto the roof so we can sort of leapfrog it.
Well,
I'd be down a shield, but
you throw the buckler onto the roof so you can. I tell you what, then. What I will say is, if you want, make me an unarmed attack. This will be an improvised weapon, so a -2, but you're a fighter. So make me an unarmed attack roll against a DC of 18, and if you're successful, not only will you earn the chase point, but you will make any other checks for your companions significantly easier. A -2.
okay, fingers crossed. 17. Is there any more hero points?
1 left.
1.
Will I use it?
Sure.
Or do you guys want to save it?
I don't mind.
Okay,
Alright,
you can use it, yeah.
Yeah, I'll do the reroll.
All right then.
See if I get that 18. Oh, 28.
28. That is another critical. Oh no, sorry, -2 because it's an improvised weapon. 26. So that is 1 chase point earned, and the DC for the perception or anything else that the other party members want to attempt is going to be down by 2. So, Ark, do you want to try and perceive your way through this, or you got something else in mind?
I might as well perceive. I really don't have a lot for chasing.
All right then. So DC 13, a perception check, please.
18.
All right, 2 chase points. You make it through. Feral does some damage to the roof, but he does take out quite a lot of these things. Feral, your buckler is gone.
I've taken off.
Yeah, you've literally thrown it through the roof like a power discus. Romeo, over to you.
Can I see where he... I saw where he threw it, right? And it was basically hit the roof. Can I use prestidigitation to actually, like, basically stop it from falling, and lightly lift slowly, lift an unattained object of light bulk or less 1 foot off the ground? So could I just have it actually stall and then use that as almost like a very quick stepping stone to like spring across the area?
Well, that's why I was hoping I would just throw it, not hard, so everyone can use that as a stepping stone to do athletics or acrobatics to parkour off it.
Yeah, I would say that's already, yes, that's already been done. He's basically yes, he hasn't gone through the roof. I do beg your pardon. I forgot Farrell's words in his script there. He's basically embedded it. Oh, he's
basically with my weight going on the shield, the nails have gone through.
Yeah,
it's holding the shield has been held in place by the nails.
He's basically giving you a stepping stone, so that's already there for you. Hence why.
I was just gonna because when you said it went through the roof, I was gonna say, could I literally stop it before it went through, and I'll use it as a spring to basically leap across.
Yeah, that was my bad. I misinterpreted Farrell Alex's narration. So. Perception or acrobatics here, Romeo? Perception is the primary check at DC 13, acrobatics DC 16.
Acrobatics, because I'm just going to basically just run as fast as I can, use knowing full well that it's going to have to be a very quick hop, because it probably will go through the roof when I step on it, and then spring as fast as I can across it.
All right, then, go ahead and... give us that acrobatics check.
That is a 29.
That is a critical success. You all make it through comfortably thanks to Farrell's improv stepping stone. All right, let's have a look. Sorry, because I will let you know as well, for each obstacle you beat, you're earning XP, so keep track of the XP here. Okay, so Trinia's next one. She looks to be in a bit of trouble, as it looks like some of these tilings under her feet start to fall. She needs to make an acrobatics check. Oh, and she gets it, and she moves on, even beating the secondary DC. Meanwhile, you guys come across what was putting her off earlier. As you bolt around a corner, you notice that on this particular branch of Rooftop, there is a large feral tomcat that is aggressively lashing out both at Trinia and now at yourself, at any intruder within its territory. Now, to overcome this obstacle, the regular DC is DC 15 Nature to soothe and divert the cat, or DC 18 Perception to keep your distance while edging past. Farrell, we'll start with you. Do you want to use any one of those two, or do you want to get funky? Because I've got a feeling I know what you might do.
I actually have. There's another. But I have a thing that I haven't used yet, and it's the.
I'm sorry, I'll mute for a second because I'm
in the corner.
What a bastard. Yeah, Topher's on timeout. Farrell, for the record, I should say that RollTales does not encourage the punting of cats. Farrell.
I'll turn you into a sock puppet. No. I have the menacing rune attached to my chest plate.
Yeah.
Which gives me a +1 to coerce. I also have intimidating prowess, which also gives me a +1. So I want to scare the crap out of this cat, screaming at it to see if it'll just back off.
Give it an intimidation check then, please.
Alright, so that would be with the +2?
Depends on the... well, your rune's going to be... Intimidating prowess is a circumstance. Your rune's an item, so yes, they do stack.
Yeah, so I'll manually add a +2 to this roll.
Go for it.
Oh, it was almost 17. So that is 19 + 2, 21.
21. That is a success. 1 chase point as you make your way through.
As I'm in the lead, I pick up the pace, trying to get after her. See this thing. The brakes on. I slide to a gentle stop in front of it, and I just Hulk roar its presence to see it stop in its tracks. And everyone else can run past behind me.
All right then. Ark, what are you doing?
Is the cat still there?
The cat is still there. It's kind of like gone, oh, what the hell? At Farrell's presence, but it hasn't moved yet.
I'm basically, you guys run behind me. I'm taking any brunt that you may have.
There's not much. Yeah, there's not a lot I can even do.
I would say ancestral memories may come in handy for you here.
Ancestral memories doesn't. It's wisdom based for nature, I suppose.
You can pull that out for this.
No.
Could I waft a smell in its direction that it makes it think there's food nearby?
What food are you going to use? Oh, prestidigitation.
Yeah, basically just to make it smell like there's a fish very close that it just wafts into its nose to help.
I'm going to say then, once again, it's going to be dependent on your ability and your spell power. Give me a spell attack roll aiming to beat the DC of 18.
This could be an interesting one.
Ark, you can potentially use spells on a situation like this, like befuddle and noxious vapors.
Noxious vapors would potentially kill the cat.
No.
Yes.
16.
Right. 16, that is a failure. It is down to Ark.
Yeah. I was looking at befuddle, but befuddling a cat. Sure, why not? Let's befuddle a cat.
Alright, the cat does actually have stats. Cats are statted, I believe. Let's have a look. So... Okay. It's going to have a massive +2 to this. $17, but I don't believe that. That's a regular failure.
Regular failure.
All right, because of the success of failure, clumsy 2 and stupefied 2. I'm actually going to say that is enough to befuddle the cat enough to the point where you're able to earn the next 2 points and slip by. So you scare and then befuddle the cat and then
That's
move.
having a bad day.
Yeah, that cat is not having a good day. At least it didn't get punted.
Drop it off the roof.
Instead, it's now getting its mind screwed with.
Yeah. Are you trying to get me cancelled?
We're not for physical violence, we're for emotional.
Emotional damage! Sorry. Oh dear. Don't get us cancelled, guys. Jesus Christ. Alright, Trinia's on to her next obstacle. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. Okay. She is going to try and use acrobatics. And she actually fails on her next obstacle as she appears to be caught between a sharp turn with some rigid rooftops. She rolled a 14. The DC for her check was an 18. That's a failure. She's stuck there as you could potentially catch her now as you come across what she was very, very cautious about, and that is a crumbling rooftop as uneven overhangs and eve intermix with broken and crumbling tiles. This is your chance to catch her. To overcome this obstacle, you need to either make the primary check of a DC 15 athletics or the secondary check of a DC 18 acrobatics or something funky. I think we'll start with the fighter because I've got a feeling and I know which one he'll go for unless he has something else in mind.
Well, I was thinking of using my athletics to grab Buck and help and throw him over the jagged things. But he'd take a run up and I insist on his jump.
Yep.
Or Romeo, depending who's behind me.
That is. But yeah. Yeah, that's the narrativeness of this system. So that's what you do. Who are you hucking over for your athletics check?
Who's got the least athletics? I know Romeo
I've got nothing.
Right. So basically, I as I'm chasing, I come to a knee, and I put my hands out, and you guys can just step on my hand, and I give you an additional boost.
All right then, Romeo, not Romeo, Farrell. Then, can I have your athletics check then, please?
17.
That is a success because this was the primary DC. Your target was only 15. You huck Ark over, and then you huck Romeo over. So Romeo, can I have your acrobatics check then, please? Or something else, athletics or acrobatics. So, or something else on top. What are you doing to earn those other 2 chase points?
Let's go be acrobatics, because I'm basically just gonna do the whole like elven thing of using his things and then just fly, basically off of him.
All right then. In that case, then, can I have an acrobatics check then, please?
Yep.
As you attempt to fly.
16.
Okay, unfortunately that's a failure. You don't quite fly away. Ark.
What can I do to help? I don't have.
I don't want to save her.
Explode something in front of her. Use magic.
I'm over, but you're not over, so we would still be in the same style. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's like I said, it's narrative based. If you
is there any way to solidify the actual floor so that she doesn't fall? Trying to help.
No, she's not there anymore. She's ahead. You're the one on the rickety rooftops.
We need to secure R1 to move forward.
I will give, along the get funky lines, I'll throw you a couple of suggestions if you want, Greg.
Yeah, just chase things. Really, not my area of expertise at all. Most of my spells will not help here.
I will say that I will also allow the DC 18 diplomacy at this point to earn those extra chase points where you try to make her stammer because you're close to her now, where you say, we just want to talk. Or you could use intimidation to say, slow down, you know?
Intimidation and diplomacy is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. What is R? It's not one for running. Let's go with intimidation. For God's sake, please stop. I'm not good at this.
All right, give us that intimidation roll then, please.
Oh, why not? 21.
A 21, that's the second chase point. Trinia looks and stammers, but it's her turn to go again now, so she's going to try and tumble through that area once again. She doesn't get it though. She rolled a 4 off the dice for the total of 16, so she is still stuck there between these 2 rooftops. Who wants to take it again to try and earn the last chase point? Farrell? We can say narratively, if you use athletics again, this is essentially in the picture you hucking yourself over now.
Yeah, I'll do that because if we can get at least closer, then if need be, I will then use intimidating prowess to make her stop.
Yep.
So I'll do athletics.
Yep. Go ahead. DC 15.
Oh, that's 11.
You lose your footing on some of the roof. You don't fall through, but it stammers your jump. Romeo, what do you want to do? Do you want to try and use acrobatics again to get in front of her, maneuver your way around, or what else? Or do you have something else in mind?
Shiloh, out. Baba, out. Sorry. Go on, Baba. Go see Mummy. Sorry. I'm basically going to try and slide pretty much next to her. Is she basically getting caught on something?
She is basically trying to tumble through these two narrow rooftops. She's kind of come to a sharp turn, and there's a very slim gap through the center of where she's trying to do, and she can't quite acrobatics her way through and navigate her way through at the moment.
Then I'm going to try and basically... I'm basically going to try and... is there another, like, higher way to get above her?
However you want to narrate it, it's whatever you narrate goes, mate.
So I'm going to basically... Seeing Feral kind of start to slip, I'm going to basically turn to Feral, but... this needs to be done. And I'm going to use his slipping to basically step on his back and like run up part of the wall to get above the actual, the area that's actually thing, and just try and run past her and get onto the other side.
All right, in that case then, give us an acrobatics check for this is parkour.
Can I assist with that in any way?
That is a 30.
No need. That is a regular success, and you only... Actually, no, that's a crit success. You only needed 1 chase point to get through. So what actually happens is Romeo just does this incredible parkour maneuver, and he lands right in front of Trinia. And what do you say to her as you land right in front of her through this acrobatic maneuver of hers?
Look, we only want to talk, please. Just, the floor's not stable. Can you please stop?
It's at this point where she sees Ark behind her. She sees Feral, you directly in front of her, a 500-year-old elf, perhaps done the most exertion he has done in about a couple of 100 years, and she just absolutely breaks down in front of you as she just, in defeat, slumps onto her back, and she starts absolutely crying her eyes out, sobbing. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill anyone. I wouldn't. For defeating Trinia in the chase, you all earn 80 experience points. And for the number of obstacles you beat, you earn another... I'm going to round that up. It was 24. I'm going to round that up to 25 experience points. So you earn a total of 105 XP.
740, yep.
All right. And that is where we'll close today's session of Curse of the Crimson Throne. Huh. Chase mode subsystem. Never run it before.
Now, if you put those...
Sorry. I was just going to say, I can see why I think they're changing it for the remaster.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, if those nails had come up later, I would have used the same thing of me helping them off by getting them to run up my shield.
Yeah.
It was a good use.
No, it's I liked it. I liked it, and you can easily buy a new buckler. You've got the gold to buy yourselves a new buckler back, that's for sure. But yeah, that chase system. I'm confident I don't know. That was. I'm not gonna lie. Even I think it was a nice idea in theory. Have a narrative chase-based experience, and you use skill checks to see each other through, and that's actually the official 2E chase system, but yeah, I'm not sure it quite worked.
It really does seem to favor people who have martial power.
Yeah.
Like either dex or strength. I have nothing really for anything.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Because I know I said, get funky with your stuff, but Arc has a very specific skill set. And I must admit, there are roles in obstacle. I'm not going to lie about this. There's a different list of obstacles that you come across, right? And some of these obstacles can give you shortcuts as well, where you jump 2 squares ahead. For example, that obstacle where Trinia got stuck at was actually a shortcut. But she didn't find it. So she tried the secondary check of acrobatics and the dice wouldn't let her through. But yeah, so there are obstacles that you can come across that you can use skills like society, persuasion, and intimidation, all your other skills. But I think going on Greg's point here, I don't think that complements Pathfinder 2E's, well, what I call Dreamwork makes the teamwork style system very well.
No, it's as an overall check for now on people, it's helpful for me because I didn't have to roll anything.
Yeah.
Because if I had to roll, we would be looking on average a 50-50 chance in acrobatics. I only have a +5, and if it was the athletics, I would have to roll 15.
Yeah. So maybe a bit, I don't know. It's a bit, because like I said, I randomly rolled in prep to determine which objects it would be. I think on my part, I don't think I should have done that now. I think I should have gone through them one by one and sort of like tailored it to the whole party, but I just saw a great big huge list, so I decided just to roll. Yeah, it was interesting. However, you made it through and you were successful in catching Trinia, which we will go to next time. So yeah, despite that slightly janky chase system, did you all have a good time?
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah.
All right, so awesome. So when we come back, we have caught up to the mysterious Trinia Sabor, and, well, according to her, she hasn't killed nobody. Let's see what the party can uncover next time on Curse of the Crimson Throne. But until then, folks, thank you all very much for watching, and we hope to see you next session. Bye-bye.
Slide down the rooftop, slide down.